Hello everyone, I'm John Higgins. This is PNG Tonight. Coming up, new agricultural techniques on the back of the drought that destroyed food crops. Women's Forum looks into ways to prevent sorcery and associated deaths, and a new technique into sustainable mushroom species in the Eastern Highlands province. On the back of the drought that destroyed food crops, an alternative is being explored. It's the application of smart techniques that withstand all weather conditions, the brainchild of Child Fund PNG. Gregory Avira reports.
Local subsistence farmers have used traditional cultivation practices for generations. Despite these practices sustaining people's lives for many years, more technical assistance is needed to cope with extreme weather conditions brought about by climate change. The recent dry spell caused by the El Nino has identified the need for more tactical measures to complement the local knowledge. Child Fund PNG last week launched a project aimed at equipping local farmers with climate-smart agriculture techniques to withstand harsh weather conditions caused by climate change. The project is being funded through a grant from the United States American Pacific Climate Fund, or PACM, and will target 12 communities in the Rigo district of Central Province. Child Fund Country Director Manish Joshi says the Climate Smart Agriculture project aims to fill the gap and complement existing agricultural practices. He says the training of local farmers will not differ from the traditional cultivation practices, but will be technically enhanced to complement it.
It won't completely differ because we are trying to build on what's available, what knowledge and information and the practices that are available. So we will enhance them technically so that people don't feel that it's somewhere from space. So whatever will be done as per the current practices, but in a more technical and refined form. So I would say a slight change, but it won't be a drastic change.
Such a project, according to Mr. Joshi, is timely for the local farmers who were hard hit by the prolonged El Nino-induced drought. The lengthy dry period has had a negative effect on many farmers, not only in the Rigo district, but throughout the country. The district's Farmers Corporate Society chairman, Kevin Mabone, says local farmers have suffered with poor crop yields as a result of the drought.
Very low. We are on zero balance at the moment because most of the people are going hungry, having 1 meal a day, and some crops are not maturing, and some have died. So we are really feeling the pain now. People are hungry.
Despite such a challenge, families resorted to helping one another and were dependent on store goods from the families in the city.
We are helping the families, sharing food among the families, whatever that we receive from our families down in Mosby, especially store goods. We are relying on store goods at the moment.
Such recent harsh weather conditions highlight the importance of having smart climate-adaptive measures in place. Studies have shown that the country's economy and agricultural sector will be greatly affected if measures are not in place to adapt to the changes in climate. Office of Climate Change and Development Acting Managing Director Joe Pocana said the lack of proper climate change adaptive measures may result in Pacific Island nations such as Papua New Guinea incurring large amounts in losses to its economic growth.
Report that Pacific region is at greater risk that climate change can overturn its social and economic development, and estimate the cost to be around more than 2,000 billion to address it properly. PNG doesn't have those type of funds to fund our adaptation.
Mr. Pocana said the country, as a party to the United Nations Convention on Climate Change, must do its part to be resilient to climate change and reduce its effects.
Papua New Guinea, as a party to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change since 1992, recognize and take note of the threat climate change and what needs to be done. Through the principle of common but differentiated responsibility, each party to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change must ensure that it builds resilience to climate change and must contribute to the global mitigation efforts to the effects of climate change.
Mr. Pokana said the geographical setup of the country will see many coastal communities being affected by the rise in sea levels and other associated effects of climate change.
PNG is highly vulnerable to the impact of climate change, as it covers more than 17,000 kilometers of coastline and 600 islands, most of which are low-lying, and has almost 2,000 coastal villages with population well above 500,000, making it much vulnerable to sea level rise and other weather-related manifestations of climate change.
Papua New Guinea is amongst 11 other Pacific Island nations that are recipients of the United States American Pacific Climate Fund, or PACM, which aims to strengthen resilience and adaptive measures to climate change. Pacific Island nations are the most affected by climate change. Studies suggest Papua New Guinea will face significant economical and agricultural losses as a result of climate change. PACM aims to identify and implement local solutions to climate change adaptation. The introduction of this project will serve as a learning experience on ways of coping with extreme weather conditions caused by climate change. The experience gained can be extended to other provinces who have been struggling through the dry period. And with the partnership of key government agencies, such knowledge will be a key to combating future dry periods.
Definitely the idea is because it's a climate change project, and it's not just that Rigo district is affected with climate change. It's the entire country or the entire Pacific which is getting affected, or it's a global issue. So definitely once the project progresses, we'll make sure that it goes to other parts as well, because the involvement of national departments of agriculture and livestock, the involvement of other agriculture departments, NARI, districts, is just to make it sustainable and so that it can be replicated.
The project is set up to be gender and age inclusive to ensure generations are well equipped with the right knowledge on maintaining good crop yields despite harsh weather conditions.
For trainings, we will target farmers, and both male and female. All of them are welcome, will be trained. There will be youth groups, children groups, who will be made aware and trained in a way that they become champions in climate change and can replicate the message to wherever they go or wherever they study and wherever they live within their communities, within their peers. So almost all the sections of the society will be covered. Yeah.
Gregory Avira reporting there. After the break, women's empowerment, a key focus in a forum.